As Dr. Wu emphasized, belief, well, it's just the beginning. It's action that turns belief into reality. Belief is the ignition, but action is the engine that drives change. Without action, even the most profound beliefs remain dormant, unrealized potentials. So why is taking action so crucial in the process of transformation? Welcome to the Personal Mastery and Growth Podcast, where we explore the keys to unlocking your full potential and living your best life. I'm your host, Jose Johnson. Whether you're looking to make a breakthrough, overcome a challenge, or simply live with greater clarity, joy, and purpose, you'll find the tools and inspirations you need right here. So let's start your journey towards personal mastery and growth right now. Welcome back to the Personal Mastery and Growth Podcast, your go-to resource for practical tips, insightful research, and inspiring stories to help you unlock your full potential. I'm your host, Jose Johnson, and I'm an expert in the fields of mindfulness, mindset, and peak performance, and I am so excited to have you with me here today. And in today's episode, we're diving headfirst into the world of transformation, exploring the 3 essential steps to creating meaningful change in any aspect of your life. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, let me share a little backstory. So picture this. I was assisting one of my mentors, the renowned Dr. Wu Cheng-da, during a Qigong workshop on the 20 postures for health and longevity. Now, Dr. Wu is not only a highly regarded martial arts practitioner, but he is also a traditional Chinese doctor and a physician specializing in orthopedics and trauma. He was a true master of health and well-being. Now, during this workshop, a participant asked a very profound question. How and why can these exercises be used to heal someone? Now, Dr. Wu's response was a revelation that has since become a guiding principle in my life. He said, first, you must believe it will work. Second, you must do that thing. And finally, don't do anything to screw it up. So during our time together today, we're going to unpack this idea so that you can apply this powerful strategy to every aspect of your life. As Dr. Wu wisely shared during that Qigong workshop, belief is the initial stepping stone towards meaningful change. Belief is a potent force that can shape the outcome of our endeavors, whether in health, relationships, career, or personal development. It's not just a simple thought. It's the driving force that influences our actions and our decisions. So let's break down why belief is so essential and how it relates to creating change. Now, one of the most remarkable demonstrations of belief in action is something called the placebo effect. Research has shown that when individuals firmly believe that a treatment or an intervention will work, even if it's just a sugar pill or a fake medical procedure, their bodies often respond as if the treatment is real. This phenomenon underscores the incredible power of the mind in influencing our physical and our mental well-being. For example, studies have found that patients who were given a placebo painkiller reported reduced pain, and their brain scans showed decreased activity in pain processing regions. This effect just wasn't about feeling better. It reflected an actual change in their brain activity. In another study, participants who believed they were receiving an expensive and high-quality pain relief cream experienced more significant pain reduction than those who thought they were using a cheaper, less effective version of the same cream. Now, this illustrates how the perception of value and effectiveness plays a role in our outcomes. The placebo effect goes far beyond pain relief. It has been observed in various medical conditions, from depression and anxiety to Parkinson's disease and even some autoimmune disorders. While placebos can't cure every ailment, they demonstrate the immense influence of belief on our health and our well-being. Belief also plays a pivotal role in the concept of positive thinking. When we maintain a positive mindset and genuinely believe in the possibility of success, we are much more likely to take actions that lead to favorable outcomes. This positive thinking can boost motivation, resilience, and problem-solving skills, all of which are essential for creating change. Research in psychology has shown that individuals with a positive outlook tend to approach challenges with a can-do attitude. They view setbacks as temporary and surmountable rather than insurmountable obstacles. This optimistic perspective can lead to higher levels of persistence and ultimately greater success. Furthermore, belief in your own abilities, often referred to as self-efficacy, plays a vital role in creating change. Psychologist Albert Bandura's work on self-efficacy suggests that individuals who believe they have the skills and capabilities to achieve their goals are much more likely to take action and persevere, even in the face of challenges. So just imagine two people presented with a challenging task. One believes in their ability to learn, adapt, and overcome obstacles, while the other doubts their competence. It's likely that the first person will approach the task with enthusiasm and determination, while the second may become discouraged and give up prematurely. Well, now that we understand the significance of belief in creating change, how can we cultivate and harness this power in our lives? Well, here are a few practical steps. First, let's start with self-awareness. Start by becoming aware of your current beliefs, especially those that might be limiting you or negative. Recognize the thoughts and the narratives that may be holding you back. Next, challenge your limiting beliefs. Question the validity of beliefs that don't serve you. Are they based on facts, or are they just assumptions? Are there counterexamples to disprove the beliefs? Next, we can use positive affirmations to reframe and reinforce empowering beliefs. Replace self-doubt with statements that affirm your capabilities and your potential. Another tool is to visualize your desired outcomes with vivid detail. When you can see and feel success in your mind, you're more likely to believe that it's achievable. And surround yourself with support. Seek out a supportive community, a coach, or a mentor who can bolster your beliefs in your abilities and provide guidance on your journey. Remember, belief is the catalyst that ignites the process of change. It's the initial spark that sets everything in motion. So as we explore the remaining steps in this transformational process, keep in mind the power of belief and how it can pave the way for your personal mastery and growth. As Dr. Wu emphasized, belief, well, it's just the beginning. It's action that turns belief into reality. Belief is the ignition, but action is the engine that drives change. Without action, even the most profound beliefs remain dormant, unrealized potentials. So why is taking action so crucial in the process of transformation? Well, imagine you have a powerful belief that you can achieve a specific goal, whether it's improving your health, advancing in your career, or deepening your relationships. This belief is like a destination on your map. However, it's not enough to know where you want to go. You have to start walking the path. Action bridges the gap between desire and results. It transforms your belief into tangible progress. Without action, belief remains a beautiful dream without substance. So consider this. You believe in the power of a healthy lifestyle to improve your well-being. You're convinced that regular exercise and a balanced diet can make a significant difference in your life. However, until you actually start exercising and eating well, your belief remains theoretical. It's when you hit the gym and make healthy food choices that your belief starts to materialize as improved health and fitness. But sometimes the journey to meaningful change can feel overwhelming, like trying to climb a mountain in a single leap. However, Dr. Wu's guidance reminds us that we don't have to leap. We can just take small, consistent steps. Research supports the effectiveness of small actions in achieving significant change. The concept of Kaizen, a Japanese term for continuous improvement through small incremental changes, has gained prominence in various fields, from business to personal development. It highlights the power of consistent, manageable actions. So if we consider that person aiming to improve their physical fitness, instead of committing to an extreme exercise regimen from day one, they start with a daily 10-minute walk. Over time, they gradually increase the duration and intensity of these workouts. Now, this approach is not only sustainable, but it also builds momentum and confidence. Taking that first step, especially when it involves change, can be challenging. It often requires breaking free from the inertia of your current habits and routines. Now, this inertia is like a heavy anchor that keeps you in place. Action is what lifts that anchor and allows you to move forward. Taking action can be challenging, primarily because of the natural human resistance to change and the inertia that keeps us in our comfort zone. But remember, change rarely happens within the boundaries of the familiar. Imagine trying to push a massive boulder. Initially, it takes tremendous effort to get it moving, but once it's in motion, it becomes easier to keep it rolling. The same principle applies to taking action. The initial step might be daunting, but once you start, momentum builds and progress becomes more attainable. Resistance can also rear its head when you attempt to change. Your mind may resist stepping out of the comfort zone, even if you believe in the benefits of the change. Action is your tool to overcome this resistance. It's the act of pushing through discomfort and uncertainty. Another enemy of action is procrastination. Procrastination is the art of delaying important tasks and activities, often opting for immediate pleasure or comfort instead. It's a hurdle that can hinder our progress. But the good news is that there are research-backed strategies to conquer it. So let's try to solve the procrastination puzzle. Procrastination is a complex behavior that researchers have been studying for decades. One of the key insights into procrastination comes from the field of psychology, specifically the concept of time inconsistency. This theory suggests that humans tend to prioritize short-term rewards over long-term goals. So imagine you have a choice between working on a project that will benefit you in the future or watching your favorite TV show right now. Procrastination often occurs when the immediate pleasure of watching TV outweighs the perceived effort and delayed rewards of working on that project. So, how do we close the procrastination action gap? To bridge the gap between intention and action, it's essential to address procrastination effectively. Here are some actionable steps supported by research to overcome procrastination. Start by setting clear goals. Clearly define your goals and break them down into smaller, manageable tasks. Research shows that specific and achievable goals are more motivating. Next, use implementation intentions. This technique involves planning when and where you will take action. For example, instead of vaguely thinking, I'll exercise tomorrow, say, I will go for a 30-minute walk in the park at 7 a.m. tomorrow. Research indicates that this increases the likelihood of follow-through. Another way is to leverage the 2-minute rule. If a task takes less than 2 minutes to complete, do it immediately. It's a technique popularized by productivity expert David Allen. Research suggests that small wins boost our motivation. A highly overlooked tool is the practice of self-compassion. Be kind to yourself when you face procrastination. Research shows that self-compassion can reduce negative emotions associated with procrastination and increase motivation to start tasks. A popular tool is the use of the Pomodoro technique. Now, this is a time management method that involves working for a focused 25-minute period, or a Pomodoro, and then taking a short break. It can help break tasks into manageable chunks, making them less overwhelming. To keep you on track, minimize your distractions. Identify and eliminate potential distractions in your environment, such as turning off notifications on your devices. Research suggests that the idea of multitasking actually decreases your overall productivity. Visualize your success. Imagine the satisfaction and reward of completing the task. Visualization can increase motivation and reduce procrastination. And finally, seek accountability. Share your goals with someone who can hold you accountable. Whether it's a friend, coach, or mentor, external accountability can boost your commitment to taking action. Remember, overcoming procrastination is a journey, and it's normal to encounter setbacks along the way. The key is to persistently apply these strategies and adapt them to your unique circumstances. By understanding the psychology behind procrastination and implementing these research-backed techniques, you can bridge the gap between intention and action, bringing your goals within reach. Procrastination, overthinking, and waiting for the right time can be roadblocks to taking action. Instead, adopt the just do it mentality. Now, one of the most iconic slogans in marketing history is Nike's just do it. And while it's a simple phrase, it encapsulates a profound truth about taking action. Sometimes you don't need elaborate plans or perfect conditions. You just need to start. Action breeds confidence and creates a sense of accomplishment that fuels further progress. Action is not just about moving forward, it's about learning and adapting. As you take action towards your goal, you gather valuable feedback. You learn what works and what doesn't. This feedback loop is essential for refining your approach and increasing your chances of success. Think of it as a martial artist refining their technique through practice. Each action brings insight, and these insights inform your next move. Over time, you become more skilled and effective in achieving your goals. Action is the catalyst for change. When you take that first step, no matter how small, it sets a series of events into motion. Now, one of the most fascinating aspects of taking action is how it generates momentum. Think of it like this. Imagine a snowball perched at the top of a hill. Initially, it's small and slow moving. However, as it starts to roll downhill, it accumulates more snow, it grows in size, and it gains momentum. Action works in a similar way in our lives. So let's talk about an idea called the Competence-Confidence Loop. This concept underscores the connection between competence, our ability to do something, and confidence, our belief in our ability to do something, and how they feed into each other. So let's start with competence. When you take action, you gain experience and you deliver skills. These newly acquired competencies enhance your ability to tackle challenges and tasks. Even small victories contribute to your sense of competence. When you see progress and experience success, your confidence grows. Confidence is the belief in your ability to accomplish tasks and overcome obstacles. When you believe in yourself, you're more likely to take further action. Now, the beauty is that this creates a positive feedback loop. And that loop is when competence and confidence reinforce each other. When you feel competent, you're more confident. And when you're confident, you're more willing to take action, which leads to increased competence. So how can you apply the competence-confidence loop to your life? Well, first, start small. Begin with manageable tasks or goals. These initial successes will boost your competence and lay the foundation for improved confidence. Next, track your progress. Keep a record of your achievements, no matter how minor they may seem. Reviewing your progress can be a powerful motivator. Another thing that you can do is to set stretch goals. Challenge yourself with slightly more ambitious goals as your competence and confidence grow. This progressive approach keeps the loop in motion. Next, learn to embrace failure as growth. Understand that setbacks and failures are part of the journey. They provide valuable lessons that contribute to your competence. Instead of seeing them as obstacles, view them as opportunities to learn and improve. And finally, celebrate your wins. Celebrate your achievements, both big and small. Acknowledging your success reinforces your confidence and keeps you motivated. By harnessing the competence-confidence loop, you can create a positive cycle of action, growth, and belief in your ability to affect change. As you build momentum and motivation through this process, you'll find that your journey towards meaningful transformation becomes more attainable and more enjoyable. When it comes to making change, people talk a lot about motivation. However, there is a crucial point to understand about motivation. While it is a powerful force that can kickstart your journey, it's not a reliable long-term companion. Motivation tends to be fleeting. It generally appears when things are easy or exciting and disappears as soon as things start getting tough. And it's precisely during these tough moments that consistent action is most critical. You cannot always rely on motivation to carry you through. This is where consistency becomes your greatest ally. Consistency means showing up and taking action even when motivation is low. It means adhering to your routines and commitments even when the going gets tough. Remember the just do it slogan? Well, this is where it really comes into play. I was recently listening to Mel Robbins talking about this very idea on her podcast. She was saying how in her presentation, she will often ask the audience what the most important part of that phrase is. Now, as you might have guessed, most people will say it's do, that it's all about the action. And if you think that too, well, you'd be wrong. The most important word is just. Why? Because it represents the necessity to act even when we don't feel like it, when our motivation is lacking, when our fears are high. So what's the alternative to relying solely on motivation? Discipline and consistency. These qualities are the bedrock of lasting change. Now, here's how they work in tandem with motivation. Discipline is about making a commitment to your goals and sticking to your plan even when motivation is low. It's the ability to take action regardless of how you feel in the moment. Consistency is the practice of showing up regularly and doing the work, day in, day out, regardless of external circumstances or your current level of motivation. So just imagine a professional athlete. They don't rely solely on motivation to train or to perform at their best. They have a disciplined regimen and a commitment to practice, even on days when they might not feel like it. This consistency is what sets them apart and leads to sustained success. And this is where the competence-confidence loop shows up again. When you do something, even when you don't feel like it, you prove to yourself that you are an action taker. And that makes it easier for you to keep up the action and reset your motivation meter. So while motivation can kickstart your journey, it's your growing competence and confidence that will carry you through the inevitable obstacles and setbacks. This is why it's vital to understand that motivation is not a constant companion, but rather a fleeting one. Now, as we've discussed throughout this episode, creating lasting change requires consistency. It's about showing up day in and day out, doing the work. However, consistency isn't just about what you do. It's also about what you avoid doing. Consider the scenario. You're determined to get in better shape, so you commit to going to the gym 3 times a week to lose weight and get stronger. Why? Because you believe that this will be the best way for you to attain your goal. Well, that represents the first step. So you invest in a gym membership. You hire a personal trainer, and you faithfully hit the gym every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Well, that's step 2, action. Right on track so far. However, here's the catch. Each night after work, you come home and collapse onto your couch and indulge in a gallon of ice cream and a bag of chips. Now, let me ask you this. How much weight do you realistically think you would lose in this situation? This is precisely what Dr. Wu meant when he said, don't do anything to derail your progress. This scenario explains why so many of us fail to create the change we desire. It's because we get in our own way. Now, one of the most significant challenges in sustaining positive change is the presence of internal saboteurs. Now, these are the self-sabotaging beliefs, thoughts, or behaviors that can derail our progress. So let's explore a few common saboteurs and how we can counteract them. Let's start with negative self-talk. The voice in your head that whispers doubts, criticisms, and negative predictions, well, it can be a deadly saboteur. It erodes your belief in yourself and leads to a lack of confidence. How do we counteract that? We can do that by practicing mindfulness and self-awareness to catch the negative self-talk in the act. When we catch it, we can then replace that negative dialogue with positive affirmations and evidence of our past successes. Another saboteur is our fear of failure. The fear of failing or making mistakes can paralyze us, preventing us from taking necessary risks or trying new things. The best defense? Embrace a growth mindset. When we have a growth mindset, we understand that mistakes are opportunities for learning and growth. Celebrate your failures as stepping stones towards success. How do we defend ourselves from fear of failure? Through a growth mindset. When we embrace a growth mindset, we understand that mistakes are opportunities for learning and growth. And here's another big saboteur: the lack of self-care. Neglecting your physical, mental, or emotional well-being can hinder your progress. So make sure you prioritize self-care to maintain your strength and resilience through your growth process. Now, in addition to these internal saboteurs, there can also be external threats that undermine your progress. One of the most common is toxic influences. Surrounding yourself with negative or unsupportive people can chip away at your motivation and belief in your abilities. So to counteract this, make sure you seek out a supportive community, mentors, or accountability partners who can uplift and encourage you. Overcommitment is another one that we have to deal with. Taking on too many tasks or responsibilities can spread you too thin, leading to burnout and a decline in your ability to focus on your goals. So to counteract this, practice the art of saying no whenever necessary. Prioritize your commitments and focus on what truly matters. To protect your progress, it's essential to engage in regular reflection. Take time to assess your actions, identify what's working and what's not, and adjust your approach accordingly. This reflective process allows you to course correct and stay aligned with your goals. And that's where mindfulness can be your secret weapon. Mindfulness will help you avoid actions that undermine your efforts. It heightens your awareness of thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, enabling you to intervene and make conscious choices. Simple mindfulness practices like meditation and journaling provide the space and the capacity to respond rather than react. They enhance your resilience and focus, which are critical tools on your growth journey. Remember the old saying, if you keep on doing what you've always done, you'll keep on getting what you've always gotten. Creating change in your health, relationships, work, or the world requires not only taking new actions, but more importantly, letting go of old habits that have contributed to your current situation. Stay mindful, and you'll have the clarity and the strength to protect your progress and keep moving forward. All right, as we wrap up today's episode on the 3 essential steps to creating meaningful and lasting change, I want to leave you with a clear roadmap to unlock your full potential. First, we journey through the concept of belief. It's the foundational step that shapes your reality. We touched on the intriguing placebo effect and positive thinking, highlighting how your mind can be a powerful instrument of change. Next, we dived into the importance of taking action. We tackled procrastination, the Competence-Confidence Loop, and the understanding that motivation alone won't sustain lasting change. It's the consistent actions that you take, especially when motivation wanes, that make all the difference. And finally, we explored protecting your progress. We dived into the world of internal saboteurs and external threats that can hinder your journey. Mindfulness emerged as your secret weapon, enabling you to stay on course and make conscious choices. But in the end, it all boils down to consistency. True transformation requires not just doing the right things, but avoiding actions that undermine your progress. So armed with these insights and strategies, you now have a roadmap to unlock your fullest potential. It's a journey that demands persistence, self-awareness, and the willingness to let go of old habits that no longer serve you. But trust me, it is certainly worth the effort. So thanks for joining me today. And if you have any questions or suggestions for future topics, please reach out to me. And make sure to share this episode with someone who could use a little boost in their growth journey. And as always, remember, it is what it is, but it becomes what you make it. So make it great. Thanks for tuning in. Before we wrap up, I just want to remind you that the information shared in this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not intended as a substitute for professional advice or treatment. While the content of this podcast is based on research and personal experience, everyone's situation is unique, and the advice given may not be applicable to all. Always consult a qualified professional before making significant changes in your life. The Personal Mastery and Growth podcast is recorded at the So Good Media Studios, located in the Candy Factory, a co-working space in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.